Welcome to This Social Life. I am Deanna Miller, co-founder and marketing director of Stark Social Media Agency. With me, as always, is Nathan Imhoff.
Hey.
Hi. He's not just a guy sitting here talking with me into a microphone. He's our creative director at Stark Social Media Agency. And I like to throw him a bone every once in a while when we're doing the podcast.
Oh, a bone. Huh?
A bone. So we're doing RSS feeds today.
They're awesome.
What in the world is an RSS feed, and why do we need one? Because when we got started with websites and stuff. That's literally what it says on our website. Websites and stuff.
That should be. We should just change our name to that. Websites and stuff.
That's a great idea. Oh, new brand.
Isn't that Ron Swanson's? He gets his stuff at Foods and Stuff.
Foods and Stuff. You've been dying to throw a Ron Swanson thing in for ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love Ron Swanson.
Moving on. We had a lot of questions about RSS feeds and how do I get featured on things like Feedly and Pocket.
Right.
And there is a ton of content aggregates out there.
RSS pretty much makes the internet go. People just don't necessarily understand it.
Right. I didn't.
Everyone's using RSS and doesn't really get it.
I'm still a little like, what about it? But
right.
I know enough that I realize that it's something that if you have a blog,
right,
if you're writing anything and featuring content on your website, you need to make sure that your RSS feed is set up.
Well, anytime, any website you go to, any content, I mean, Twitter is one big RSS feed. That's what your Twitter, when you follow somebody, you're following their feed.
Right.
Their RSS feed, essentially.
Right.
Anytime it says subscribe, that's an RSS feed. I mean, because RSS stands for really simple syndication, basically what it means. So if you go to YouTube and you subscribe to a user, you are subscribing to their RSS feed, essentially.
Right.
If you've subscribed to this podcast on iTunes,
which you can totally do. You can go to iTunes and search The Social Life.
Or Spreaker.
Or Stitcher.
And
subscribe.
You are subscribing to an RSS feed.
And listen to us while you're drinking your coffee.
The beauty of that is, and rather than going to our website, starksocial.com, and finding the episode and listening to it in the browser, you can subscribe to it with your smartphone or your iTunes or whatever they do on Windows.
I don't know within Microsoft.
Audio guy probably knows, but
Audio Guru. Audio Guru knows.
I still like Guy.
I
protest Guru.
He likes Guru, though, and we want him to be happy because he handles the audio.
Oh, all right. Fine,
all right.
Guru it is.
So I looked it up on Wikipedia. You're saying really simple syndication. And when you look things up on Wikipedia, they give you these really in-depth sort of, definitions. Uses a family of standard web feed formats to publish frequently updated information, blog entries, news headlines, audio, video. So all those things that Nate just talked about, those are all the things that you really want to make sure that if you're putting any of that kind of content out into the interwebs, that you're using an RSS setup. And we have a specific checklist of things that we do when we're working with a client who has a website that has a blog to make sure that their content's being syndicated.
Right.
Okay. So you found a bunch of articles. I found a bunch of articles. We did a bunch of reading, and we came up with some things that we wanted to cover today.
Right.
So if you have a blog, this is a really important podcast for you. So you might want to bookmark it and listen to it over and over again. Over and over and over again. So I'll just let you start.
Or just subscribe and save it on your phone.
Whatever. Easy.
Well, I mean, the big thing with RSS is that rather than going to a website, the information you want is pushed to you. So it's like the subscribe to a show on a DVR. You don't have to remember that Last Man on Earth comes on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. That's not the right time. I'm pretty sure I just made it up. But you don't have to know because...
No, I think it's like Mondays or something.
Is it Monday? Okay.
I don't know.
So you don't have to know this information. This is useless information because you subscribe to the show. Not bad again. So our show comes out every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. So keep an eye out for it.
Right. But you don't even need to know this information if you subscribe.
See, that's one of the things that I think is so helpful about this. You know, nobody, I think, in the world outside of marketing and web and blog knows RSS feed because we all got so conditioned for things like Google Reader.
Right.
Which I miss so desperately. Google Reader was my favorite thing in the whole world.
Right.
And now I have moved on to Feedly.
I like Feedly better.
So I mourned Google Reader. I think I was just used to it.
Right.
So I mourned Google Reader, and then I moved on to Feedly. And it's really awesome.
Feedly's my preferred.
Yeah, no, I think they took what Google did and did it better.
Right. Well, that's usually what happens with Google. They go and buy something.
Hey.
The G-men. The G-men.
I like my Chrome. It works with the Power Editor in the Facebook. So anyway, back to RSS feeds. We're not talking about Facebook today.
Right. So you don't have to know this information. Whatever blog, whatever websites you're going to, you can get RSS feeds. You can put that into Feedly and have it appear and just basically jump from article to article of blogs that you already read if you're using your RSS correctly, which brings us to a point where you want to make sure that if you are a business and you have a blog, that you're taking care of your RSS feeds. You are using tools. I prefer FeedPress.
Right.
Give those guys a shout out.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
They're very helpful with support too. I love it. But it'll tell you how many subscribers you got.
Right.
It'll give you all the stats on how your RSS feed is working, and then like you know about where to put the RSS feeds.
I do now.
I had to research it.
It's taken me months and months and months of learning. And
you want to submit these things.
Because that's the thing, is what I learned when I started helping with the website stuff in terms of blogs and helping to submit RSS feeds is that there are literally 50 or more different places that you can submit an RSS feed for syndication.
Right.
And the funny thing to me is there's about 10 that require payment. They want you to pay like an annual subscription for your
content?
Yeah, for your content to be sent out into the world. And that to me was, I like, what?
Some places don't get it. They don't value the content.
Right.
I mean,
and the ones that I found that were further down on a bunch of lists were actually better rated.
Right.
And fed to the places where I wanted our clients' content to be.
Right.
And our content. I mean, that's really the brass tacks of it. I mean, you really want your content, whatever it is, to be found by people who aren't already following you. And that's really the beauty of the RSS feed.
Right. Well, systems like WordPress and Drupal and these other ones, they create the feeds for you.
Right.
And they do this magically. This is why these things are popular.
Magically delicious.
They do it simultaneously as you create a blog, and you need to be taking care of that, making sure that people can subscribe to it. Put that stuff on in Feedly. Put it in, submit it to the various RSS feed places.
Right. You don't just want to create awesome blog content and then have it sit there.
Right.
Because as an old school blogger back in the day.
Back in the day.
It
was a Wednesday.
It was actually, I think it was like a Thursday.
Thursday. Back in the day, it was a Thursday.
But I started a blog a long, long time ago. My son is 9. I started it 9 years ago. Good grief. And I blogged a lot, and I didn't have a lot of information about what I should or should not be doing. I got a bunch of subscribers because I was awesome at Twitter.
Right.
But when push came to shove, I didn't know, like, I needed to submit my RSS feed to anything. Enter in Nathan, who's like, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And I'm like, maybe?
Yeah. RSS makes the web go round. Most people don't even know they're using it.
Clearly.
I mean, you got your Flickr. Flickr has an RSS feed.
Flickr, like, gone now?
No,
Flickr's still around.
Flickr's strong. They had a big bounce back.
I think it's because they disconnected from a lot of the Google products.
Right.
So I don't see it anymore because you can't automatically upload your photos to a lot of stuff.
Believe it or not, I believe it was last year I saw an article that said that all the Yahoo sites are getting, and they have a whole network of them, including Flickr, get more traffic than all the Google sites.
I want to see that because I don't believe it.
I didn't either.
I'm going to say no.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on.
I'll post it on the notes.
I'm going to say no. So we have some helpful marketing uses for your RSS feeds that we want to talk about while we've got the time. I mean, we could just sit here and chat about RSS feeds all day long, but we want to provide you guys with some helpful information so that you get something out of this other than just listening to us chatter. So one of the things that we had found online that was something that is a good topic for us to talk about in terms of helpful marketing uses of RSS is you want to be able to have your content subscribed to. And that's through a various amount of places. If you're on your iPhone or whatever other device,
Droid or Audio Guru's Windows phone.
Windows phone. I don't know.
He gives you the thumbs up.
Anyway, let's keep moving on. So we don't want to talk about those other phones. So you want people to be able to subscribe to your content. If you've ever subscribe to, for example, like New York Times, Los Angeles Times,
right.
Daily News. If you've ever gotten any of those newspapers delivered to your house, that's the way to think about it.
Right.
You want your content delivered
pushed
directly to, he used the word pushed to your users.
There you go.
Right? So you want people to be able to get in their Feedly, into their Pocket, into their Flipboard, and be able to find your most recent blog post, your most recent article, whatever it is that you're putting out there into the universe. You want people to subscribe to your news,
right?
So you can become an industry leader,
right? You want to make your content as easy as possible for people to read, and I don't even bother with websites typically. I go right to Feedly, and you could just literally surf your RSS feeds. And you used to surf the web. Right. Back in the day, that's still the mindset,
Surfing the web.
A lot of people haven't progressed past that. They're like, oh, surfing the web, and they go to their browser and they no one does that anymore. You go to your favorite sites. That's it. You're in, you're out. I mean, the internet isn't something that we use. Like, you have the internet. Remember that in the 90s?
Right.
Or do you have the internet?
Right. Do you have the internet?
Yeah.
My dad said it wasn't going to take off, by the way.
Suck it, Dad.
It's a fad.
It's a fad.
It's a fad that's going to go away.
Now it's literally a way of life. I mean, we've had tragedies now that happen, and we're now using the internet to know if somebody's is okay.
Absolutely.
There was the Paris thing,
right? And
there was a guy who was posting that he was at the Eagles of Death Metal show, and on his Instagram, which by the way is an RSS feed of your pictures. And people were he had taken like a picture of the sign and him and I think his girlfriend with drinks, and there was everyone in the whole, like, his thing just blew up. Everyone was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" And then Facebook was able to use, which Facebook is your feed. That's basically an RSS feed, but you can't subscribe to it.
All right, nerd, move on.
Anyways, so you say we're now using it as a way of life, saying, hey, I'm safe.
Right, and I think that's one of the great things that we can use social media in a variety of ways, especially since Facebook during the tragedy enacted or created this, I'm safe activity. That's how I found out my dad's friend's daughter, who I became friends with over years and years of knowing each other through, working together. That's how I went onto her Facebook page, and I knew that she was living abroad, and she's not in Paris, but in France. And that's how I knew she was okay.
Yeah, the internet.
So I think that that's really fantastic, is the internet has become something completely different for us. The other thing I use RSS feeds like Feedly and Pocket and Flipboard for is for brainstorming.
Right.
So I use it a lot of times to get ideas for content for blogs that I write. So I write blogs for a handful of our clients, not all of them. A lot of times we use content writers. Shout out to all of them. But when I do have to write a blog post, a lot of times it's hard to get that inspiration going. So you want to be able to look at your RSS feed, whether it's Feedly or any of the other apps that you use, and get inspired. Use it to get ideas for your blog writing. So that's another helpful tip that we definitely want to encourage people to utilize what's out there, current events, current hot topics, anything that's really relevant in your market. You want to make sure that you're finding content that's inspired by things that people are currently searching for.
Well, it's big in the creative industry too. Being able to see whatever series, like an artist can go from not being known to being known by having an RSS feed and putting it in and having a bigger place pick them up.
Right.
And say, hey, look at this great poster series of, I don't know. Everyone wants to do Disney princesses these days. Like, oh, here's Disney princesses had to deal with this or that. She's giving me a look.
I'm not sure.
She apparently is not on my RSS feed.
I'm pretty positive Nate has had too many mimosas already.
No, I have not. There's never too many
mimosas and microphones.
Anyways, no, everyone likes to do a respin on like Disney princesses,
right.
and
You're
then,
like looking at the artsy fartsy stuff. I'm like looking at news. That's great. I see where you're at in the morning.
This is how I get through the day. I don't want to read the news.
Interesting. Moving on. So Nate has already mentioned that Twitter is an RSS feed. You can use that to find industry-related information and topics and content. So that's really important.
And new things to subscribe to into your RSS feed.
Absolutely. And of course, we briefly touched on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel now, by the way. You can go to youtube.com, search Stark Social Media Agency, subscribe to our channel.
And hear Deanna's quick tips.
Quick tips. I have quick tips that are published every Tuesday and Thursday. So if you're looking for interesting ways to increase your Facebook presence, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, follow us. Moving on. You can also use it to increase your LinkedIn presence. So one of the things that I love about LinkedIn recently is they're starting to make Pulse, which is their like publication tool,
right.
Also an RSS feed. They're starting to make it where it's much more accessible, right. And it's much easier to find. And they're also using email drip marketing, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in other podcasts. But drip marketing is a great way to bring your content that is in your RSS feed, that's on your LinkedIn channel, to different places. So LinkedIn is a great place to find good topics, content, and information to inspire your blog.
Right.
I love using that. We are going to cover a lot more of our best marketing tips and information for your RSS feed, how to make it better, how to make it awesome, how to get found by the people you want. And one of the things about a blog or any articles or things that you're publishing on your website is that it really positions you as a subject matter expert. And that's one of the things that I cover in everything that we do, blogs, webinars, trainings,
really the
consulting.
Goal.
The goal is, yeah, absolutely.
You want to be the subject
matter expert
in whatever you do.
Right. You want people to think you are the go-to guy or gal of your industry. So make sure that you are following us. To find out more quick tips and information, I did mention the YouTube channel, Stark Social Media Agency. Visit our website, starksocial.com, and visit the blog. Find out more about what we're doing. We will be right back with the rest of our tips for making the most of your RSS feed right after this.
Stark Social Media Agency is a boutique marketing firm specializing in custom solutions that are a cut above the rest. With a mission to strictly do good work, the Stark team provides the best product possible every single time. Whether you need a website upgrade, social marketing strategy, or branding design, Stark Social has the solution for success.
Welcome back to The Social Life. I am Deanna Miller, co-founder and marketing director of Stark Social Media Agency. With me, as always, you met him earlier, it's Nathan Imhoff.
I'm back. We're going to talk about RSS feeds. I'm so excited.
He's so excited. So excited. And we're doing our best to fight off dementia this morning with mimosas.
Oh, yeah. I saw an article about that.
We read some articles.
We'll put that in the notes for you.
Yeah, we'll put it in the notes if you haven't seen it. Go have some champagne and help yourself. We're talking about RSS feeds, and we're talking about the best ways that you can optimize the use of an RSS feed, as well as using other RSS feeds to improve your own blog, article, whatever it is you're throwing out there, Twitter, Facebook.
Well, you want to make sure you got it on your blog so people can subscribe to you, but you want to also up your own RSS game.
Right, and I think that's a great point, is that if you're whenever I'm doing trainings or webinars, I like to tell people to take advantage of the use of hashtags that are currently trending topics, because what that does is that increases the availability of your post or product, whatever it is you're putting out there.
So they should put like 15 hashtags in their stuff?
I say a minimum of like 25.
Like 30?
Hashtag
you
sarcasm.
should just hashtag every word.
Hashtag sarcasm. Hashtag RSS feed. No, like I've said in a lot of the trainings that we have on our website, that's at starksocial.com/blog.
Hey.
You really want to optimize your hashtag usage depending on the channel.
Well, guess what? I'd hate to break it to you, but the whole concept of hashtag is also an RSS feed.
I'm really getting tired of him saying that. I think we're going to kick him out of the studio. I'm just going to finish talking. Maybe I'll bring Audio Guru on and he can just talk. Because
he will tell you inappropriate
jokes.
You're
like, everything's an RSS feed. Blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada. Blah, blah, blah,
I'm trying
blah,
to up
blah.
everyone's RSS game.
Hashtag annoying. Anyway.
I'm trying to get the businessman with no thing, the mom who wants to get through her blogs as quick as possible. She doesn't have to go and type in or jump around.
You went mom route?
Hey.
All bloggers are moms.
I said business.
Hashtag offended.
Didn't I say business guru? I said business person first, right?
Yeah, so like
I did.
Business person or mom. Hashtag retarded. Anyway, moving on.
Outrage.
All right, so we are not trying to offend anybody, we promise. We're just talking about RSS feeds today. Let's move on to the next point that we had uncovered in our fabulous searching and reading of articles of things that we wanted to share with our audience. You want to track specific Google searches. Now, I know that that's a thing, tracking Google searches. I do it on a regular basis.
Well, Google Alerts.
Google Alerts is my favorite way to do it.
I mean, if you're active, you want to make sure if an article were to come up about you or something that you would find out about it, right?
Right. So that's a great point. You want to include in your Google Alerts, and it's really easy. Just go to Google and type in Google Alerts. I use them, and I get a ton of emails in the morning that I have them scheduled to come in the morning for anything that's happened in the last 24 hours that I want to be aware of that happens to go with any of the keywords that I'm searching for clients, for us, for anything that I have to write blog content about.
So you can have it go to your email, or you can have it create an RSS feed that you subscribe to and put it in your RSS reader.
I'm like so over this topic already. This is so
well, if you want to cram your inbox full of,
I'm surrounded by RSS and I don't know what to do. So Google Alerts is a great way to keep up to date on anything that might be happening. It's also a great way to find out if you're being mentioned anywhere.
Your business.
Or if your content is
personally.
Being hijacked and put in other places.
That's true.
Which I've actually, I've uncovered several different times when we have a client who does great marketing videos, and those were being hijacked and taken and put in other people's blog without permission.
Right. They just cut off the logos or whatever.
Right. So what they did was they took out the YouTube thing, and they used an application within WordPress to just strip the video. And the thing is that if you have mention of your name, your business in the video, Google still finds it. Right. Because Google's not dumb, people.
I told you.
Google is
all-seeing
smart.
eye of God. You cannot fool them or Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, let's not talk about him today. Other than he does give good voice.
Excellent voice.
He gives great voice. So you want to publish your company's feed on your website so that people can easily find it and subscribe to it. So how would somebody do that? Like, I know that ours is on there.
Right. Well, it depends on what content management system you're using. WordPress, usually it's your blog/feed, but it can be different. So you just need to, but most of the time you want to put it into another system that actually tracks what's going on in your feed. And I prefer FeedPress. The feed burner's still around. I heard it's buggy.
Don't use it.
Okay. Yeah, don't use it. But it is around. A lot of people use it still. I preferred FeedPress. It's simple. You just pop it in, and then it gives you another address. It basically takes your feed and turns it into something that you can distribute, and people can subscribe and get email updates when it changes. You can put it however you want.
Right, but in that same wheelhouse there, you've also got your YouTube account, your Twitter account.
Right.
Anything that you're putting out there, your Google Plus.
Right.
You want those social buttons. I think that's become one of the most major things about engaging audiences and sharing content is you want to make sure that those social buttons are on your website, whether
Right.
it's sharing content that you've got in a blog post so that people can easily put it on their Twitter, put it on their Google.
Yeah, I've seen. I always appreciate it when a website. You'll see news blogs tend to have this Huffington Post, Drudge Report, various ones like that. They'll have you can subscribe to individual feeds inside their website, which is pretty good.
Right, that's pretty major though. If you made it that far,
Well, you can
got
have
multiple feeds in one place.
You can have pages that it says feeds, and it gives you various options of feeds that you can subscribe to. That would be an option if you have a lot of content on your website.
Hashtag mind blown. So you definitely want to integrate those types of things onto your website so that you can make sure that your audience, potential, future, current clients are able to find you in the necessary places. One of the things that I talk about with a lot of the clients that we do consulting on is they want to know, well, does it matter if I'm sharing the same content everywhere? Well, it does and it doesn't. One of the things is Twitter is a very different audience than your Facebook pages.
Correct.
So is Google. So is YouTube. I personally use YouTube for all of the things that I'm currently confused about. So I will go to YouTube 9 times out of 10 and see if there's a video to explain something I don't know how to do.
It's like Google's uncle.
Right. Well, they're related.
Yeah.
Right. They're all like,
It's like the fun
same
uncle.
family. It is the fun uncle because a lot of times I'll search for how do I update my Facebook ad, blah, blah, blah. And I'll get 10 videos and one of them is just hilarious. Because you've got somebody who's done some sort of spoof.
I love spoofs.
Who doesn't love a good spoof video? I personally love it. Anyway, moving on to the next point. So let's talk about widgets. Widgets that pull feeds from specific topics. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with your Google search.
Right.
There's a lot of different things that you can do with, personally, WordPress is what I'm familiar with. Other things, I'm like, whoa, it's like Chinese.
Well, there's websites that are. I wouldn't limit it to just widgets, but I mean, we have a website that we're doing right now that we run that pulls from 3 different RSS feeds to complete the to fill out the blog because they're all related. They're political related, so this is the headquarters, and these are the people under it. And when they release a press release, it pulls into this blog.
Right. So basically what that is we have several clients that are within a Republican network, right? And they all have one specific place where we want all of the information congregated.
Right.
And so what that does then, Nate has set it up so that all of the different press releases, blog posts, articles, videos, whatever it is that's being posted on their individual feeds, all goes to one place so that the user within that certain district can find it.
And it makes it easier for everybody. You don't have to go to this website to get this information, this website to get this information. It all pulls in to one website, and the users can take it.
It's ultimately a political feedly.
There you go.
Bam!
Locally.
Love it. So we are still talking about RSS feeds here on The Social Life. I have Nate with me as always. If you haven't caught up on our other podcasts, please make sure that you go to iTunes or Spreaker or what's the other one?
Oh, Stitcher.
Stitcher. You can subscribe. Just search The Social Life. We're talking about RSS feeds.
Well, when we're going to be on the Droid network too, the Google network. Google Play is coming out. They're not quite out yet. They might be out. I don't know.
Okay.
We are ready to go on there when they launch.
All right. That's great. So we're now talking about Droid devices again.
Oh, you used to be a Droid person. I converted you.
I converted to the Apple side.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
We gotta insert Empire
I know we need some
Emperor
sort
March.
of. I know
Imperial March.
Audio Guru needs to add something in there. So we have talked about a bunch of different things so far on the podcast. We have talked about optimizing your RSS feed using, other industry topics, brainstorming using your RSS feed, monitoring other feeds like Twitter and
Right.
YouTube to find more content and information. In terms of things that people don't necessarily know about. I mean, if we're talking about, we've given some great tips on how to market your RSS feed, how to take advantage of other people's. What are some tips that you would honestly give somebody who's thinking about creating a blog that they need to think about in terms of getting it into the interwebs to make it reachable?
Well, email. You can actually take...
Good segue.
Nice, huh?
Yeah.
So, right now, if you go to the Social Life website, you could subscribe to our email list, and you will get an email every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. And this email is populated from the RSS feed. I don't touch it. It just pulls from it.
He just sits there.
I just sit.
He just sits there.
I sit there and I
And
do
he
nothing.
looks
I twiddle my
pretty.
thumbs, literally.
He just sits there and
it
looks
happens.
pretty.
So this is something that you can do if you build an audience. You can actually have that they get emails of what's going on in your feed.
See, I think that's awesome.
And if you didn't post on your feed, guess what? No email is sent.
See, that's
How about that?
fantastic because I think what that does then is that's a great way to incorporate drip marketing into your current marketing profile, campaign, whatever it is you're doing without having to do anything.
Right. Automation is the key to success in online marketing these days.
Right, and I think that's really the core of why RSS is so fantastic. Is it's automated. You don't have to sit there. And back in the day,
Back in the
Back
day,
in
which was a
day.
Thursday, you said.
when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
We're going to have to pay royalties for that, I think.
Damn it. Back in the day when I started my blog, it used to be one of these things where you used to have to go to anywhere that you wanted your blog submitted
Right.
on a regular basis. I did it monthly because I was lazy. But you used to have to go, and anytime you had new links or
You had to
content,
cut and copy? Please say you didn't have to cut and copy.
you totally did.
Oh, you had to cut.
You had to take your link
Ay.
and copy it and paste it into the places where you wanted it. And then sometimes you would submit it, and then you'd get an email and be like, we're reviewing your content. And then you'd get that sad email. It's like, thank you for submitting, but we're not going to use it right now.
You suck.
And then it was like, so I suck. Thanks so much. So this
That's all I heard.
automation is so much better. And if you are using a WordPress site, if you've got a WordPress blog, even if you're just getting started, I think one of the things I would say to users out there is do some research, find the tools that you need. WordPress makes it so easy now to get help
Right.
from their knowledge base. They've got great videos. They've got great information to share.
Oh, and the community's great.
Oh, the community is fantastic. It's so great. I mean,
love open source.
I will look up something and have an answer within a few minutes.
Somebody has dealt with that before.
So I don't have to bug you and be like, hey, I don't know how to...
Because you're a scrappy Googler.
I'm a scrappy Googler. I'm a scrappy WordPress searcher. So if you're getting started, I think definitely recommend looking into different types of automation, making things easy so that you don't have to do it. One of the things that I do recommend is make a list of the places where you want your content syndicated. And a lot of times, all you have to do is copy that RSS feed link
Right.
and take it
Paste
to
it in Feedly.
Feedly, take it to Pocket, take it to Flipboard. They all have, if you go to their websites online, not the application. I learned this the hard way. You'll sit there and submit something on the app, and then they send you an email, and then you just end up having to go to the website anyway. So you want to go to their websites on your browser, on your laptop, on your computer, whatever it is, your iMac, because that's what I know. And you want to take that, scroll down to the bottom, and then it will tell you, it'll say things like become a publisher or publish your feed. And you want to click on that, and usually what ends up opening up is a form for you to fill out. And you'll submit your name, your email, the feed, and why you want it to be featured
Right.
on those particular RSS locations. And you usually hear back from them. I heard back from Feedly immediately.
They're on top of it.
They were like, "Thanks so much."
I'm still waiting to hear from Google.
They're busy up there.
Oh, I know. I put it in like 3 years ago.
They're they're really busy up there. Did you know they have like all these different rooms and stuff? There's like a boat room.
What?
Yeah, my friend blogger. She's a blogger. It's not like she's my friend and I call her on the phone, but she was up there because she's promoting her book right now, and she posted something on Instagram about how they have like a boat meeting room where it's like a conference table, and the outside of the conference table it looks like you're sitting in a boat.
So is there like one of those wheels that you turn around?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So like the person who's talking has the wheel?
Yeah.
All
and
right.
you're like, there's like a horse room.
I can't.
And
get on this.
they have a horse on site.
What this tells me though is
It's- I
Google
think
has
it's
too much bloody money.
I think it's a miniature. Don't say that.
What?
Because then like all of a sudden we're like gone. Google will end us.
Oh, that's right.
Anyway.
So G-Men, they have too much money.
Anyway, we're still talking about RSS feeds, not Google. I'm sorry. So if you have questions about how to optimize your RSS feed, if you mention this in an email that you send to me, you can send it to hello@starksocial.com. If you say, I've listened to your podcast, I will send you instructions on how to optimize your RSS feed. But that's only if you mention that you've listened to the podcast. And don't just say you listened to it and you haven't listened to it, because I'll know. Okay, probably not. Maybe.
You're not going to know.
I'm not going to know.
Too
Anyway, go ahead and send us an email with your questions about how to optimize your RSS. I can send instructions along. I'm happy to do that for anybody that has subscribed to the podcast. If you need more information on how to optimize your social media presence, you can always go to starksocial.com and check out our blog. Also, go to facebook.com/starksocial. Follow us on there. We've got lots of great quick tips and information on the YouTube channel. So you're going to go to youtube.com/search for Stark Social Media Agency. We're also on Instagram and Twitter with the handle being @StarkSocial. We're happy to do consulting, strategize, do whatever you need to do to help you optimize your social media, your blog. So go ahead and send us an email if you have questions. Any final words on the RSS feed?
RSS is great. Go get your Feedly. Just download it and just type in what you're interested in.
Type in what you're interested in.
And then once you subscribe to a few of those, you'll be amazed. And then you just, whenever you get a good article and you're like, I love this article, check to see if they have an RSS feed, add it to your Feedly.
I'm going to put that on a shirt. I love this article.
I love this article.
Just a T-shirt.
Do they have an RSS feed?
Do they have an RSS? There's all kinds of stuff, products that are going to be coming to the Stark Social site. Anyway.
Such a nerd. I am. Sorry.
Please make sure that you subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher. Search The Social Life. We will be back next time covering more fun and interesting topics on social media, marketing, graphic design, web design, drinking mimosas, and just generally enjoying ourselves.
Coming into the holidays.
Oh,
I'm excited.
Great. I'm not.
I want a Transformer.
I know. It's okay. Thank you so much for joining us today on The Social Life. I am Deanna Miller, co-founder and marketing director of Stark Social Media Agency. That's Nate over there. He does stuff with us, too. Join us next time on The Social Life. Thanks so much. Have a great day.